You didn't let me finish. You said you got me, but you don't got me
No,
because
no,
I ain't
no.
finished.
I heard everything you said after that. I don't want to stop you from talking. I just didn't hear that part. So I'm gonna be quiet now, so I could. But I needed to hear that part first. That's all I'm saying.
Gotcha. Huh. So what I was saying was the point to it is that when we look at what Paul's writings indicate, is a sheer counter of what the Hamashiach had been brought forth to do in the teaching and keeping of the Surah. I'll just leave it
The
at that.
so
Go
you
ahead.
said the keeping of the Sora.
Of the Basura.
What's that word you're saying? Can you say that word again?
The Basura. The Basura.
You saying
Basura.
but like Sora with a
The
B?
gospel, brother, the gospel. This ain't gonna be a class. It's the gospel.
Yeah, this that you trying to sound smart and shit, nigga. Just say this shit regular. Slack it.
What? You acting like you clearly knew what the fuck I was saying. Hold on, see, why is that? Oh, shit. But you clearly knew what the fuck I
Y'all
You
was
not.
see
saying.
me over here trying to be old smart nigga, man. Just say the shit, man. Shut the fuck up.
I said this shit, nigga. Stop playing slow.
I ain't playing slow. I ain't know what you said,
You
Basura. I
gotta
don't
be
know niggas
playing
that say.
slow.
I don't
Uh,
know niggas that say
okay. I
Basura.
know because you don't know the Bible, and that's why your homie finna get his ass smoked on Paul. Because you
Is
ain't
the
know
word
this nigga was
Basura?
the
Is the
son of
word
Allah.
Basura in the Bible? Is the word
Don't
Basura
worry
in the
about it, bro.
Bible?
Don't even worry about it,
If the
bro. You
word
got your
Basura ain't in the
Bible. We
Bible, you
already know
can't
the
use
men
me
that you
not knowing the
teach. Hold
word
on,
to
brother.
say I
The
don't know
men
the
that you
Bible.
teach, the men that you teach say
Right.
even if they found truth, they wouldn't change. So it don't matter.
What the hell are you talking about? Break
I
that
know.
down. Cause
Nothing.
that sounds weird. Cause if I found truth, I would change. I don't
No,
understand.
well, I said the men that under you said that shit, nigga. So you training them to talk like
They
that.
said if they found truth, but they found
They
the
wouldn't
truth
change.
already. That's why they in
Okay.
ISUPK.
All right. Exactly. That's why we finna
Mm-mm,
watch.
brother.
We'll be there tomorrow
Mm-mm,
Uh,
night. Be there
Oh
uh.
my.
tomorrow night. We finna bicycle Luke
What
Kane
time?
kick
What time
Paul
is
ass
it?
in the
Okay. What I
chest.
gotta debate myself.
You
I
ever
gotta
seen Luke
debate
Kane?
myself.
You ever seen Luke
Hey,
Kane
brother.
do the
Okay, I
bicycle kick?
understand, but I gotta
Cesario,
debate myself to. Man, shut the
Cesario.
fuck up.
You ever seen
Yeah.
Luke
What's up,
Kane do the
man? What's up?
bicycle kick? That's how this man about to do Paul ass with all that folly in him. Watch nigga.
Luke Kane wasn't even a major character. I
I don't
wouldn't
give
have
a
used
damn about
Luke
no
Kane.
what. You must have
I
played the
wouldn't have
shit.
used.
Everybody wanted to
I
be
did
Luke
play this
Kane.
shit. I grew up back in the day
So
with the shit,
everybody
man. I wouldn't
wanted
have
to be
used that
Luke
shit.
Kane.
Nah, I don't
Crazy.
know about that.
You're a
I don't
liar.
know
There
about
you go with that lie there. Shit. And now I'm
I
starting to
said I
believe.
did. First
Listen,
of all
Cesario.
I said
Now I'm
was
starting to
You was
believe that
I
Holy
spamming the
don't
Ghost
know
don't
bicycle
about
kick.
actually be. Hold
brother.
on, wait, wait,
All I
wait, wait,
said was
wait,
wait,
Cesario.
wait, wait. Before you
Listen
call
to
me a
me.
liar,
Now I'm
hold
starting
up.
to believe that the Holy Ghost Jehovah
Wait,
beat
but
you in a
one
debate
second.
for
When
real. Now I'm starting
before
to
you
believe
call me
that
a
shit.
liar, but
I'm
brother,
starting
before
to
you call
believe
me
that
a
shit, bro.
liar,
It's
all I
already
said
done.
was I
It's
don't,
already done.
brother. Is that what this is? Like y'all just over talk each other? Because you called me a
No.
liar when all I said was I don't know about that. I didn't say yes or no. I just said I don't know, and you called me a liar
But you saying
because I
shit you
said I
don't
don't
know. You
know.
said he wasn't even the
But
main
that I'm
character.
not. If I say I
Trying
don't
to
know,
sound
you can't
smart and
call me a
shit.
liar.
Look,
How
trying
can
to
you call
sound
me a
smart and
liar if I
shit.
say I don't
What do you
know?
mean? Because you talking like you do know. Dumb dumb.
We was talking about
Duh.
Luke Cage a video. We talk about a fucking video game.
Exactly. You said you played the shit.
Right.
Obviously,
So
you
if
know
I
the
say I
era,
don't
but you
know
know.
if
Well,
so
just shut
when
the
I
fuck
came
up,
up, a
bro.
lot of
Because
people
you,
hold on.
well,
So when
that's
I
what you
came up, a
niggas
lot of
like to
people
do,
played
bro.
with
You want to
Raiden.
tongue
Hold
twist
on,
your
I'm
way
about to tell
out
you.
of
Hold
your
up. When I
lies.
came up, a lot of
You,
people
I don't
played
want to
with
hold up.
Raiden.
I don't want to hold up. I
But
don't want to hold up.
that's what
Because
I'm
you want
saying.
to
You just
tongue
want to
twist your way out
argue.
your
I
lies,
played
nigga.
with Sub
Hey, I
Zero. I
don't
used
want
to
to
kill
argue. Just
niggas.
let that
You
shit
had
go. I
Sub
said, let's
Zero.
move
You had
on, bro.
Scorpion.
You trying to
You had
prove
I
your
ain't gonna
point
Raiden.
in
lie.
the
I used
man,
to play
y'all.
with the
You
same
trying to
characters:
prove your point.
Raiden,
You ain't
Sub
wrong.
Zero,
Just let's
Scorpion. You
move
See what I'm
lying,
on.
saying?
brother.
Now I got a witness. Now I got a witness that played with
I
Raiden,
used to talk
Sub
to your
Zero,
brother too.
Scorpion. So when you say
Yeah.
Luke Cage was the
Nigga,
major guy,
Sub-Zero. What?
Hey,
Okay,
I got a
so
yeah,
question
I
though.
used to
I got a
play.
I
serious
Listen, I
play
used
question.
to
with
play with
I
Luke
play
Cage.
with that
Listen, I used
nigga
to
and
play with.
everybody else you just named. He was
Look,
amongst them.
I got
Right,
a
The
but
nigga
serious
that's
was
what I'm
on the
question.
saying. So when you
the
say
nigga was on the
everybody
cover
wanted to
multiple
play,
times.
brother, if this how you debate, you're gonna be horrible because if you say that everybody played
I'm
with
not
that
in a
one
debate.
character,
Bro,
that's
you let
just
the
not true.
bro, don't
Everybody
talk about
played
debate. Bro.
with a
You
lot
were
of different
undefeated
characters on the
and you
game,
let
man.
God
That's all I'm
Jehovah
saying.
beat you. You went
You
from
said what?
undefeated to getting beat by Lord Jehovah, bro.
Are you
I
out of
have
your
a
What
question.
is
fucking
you talking
mind?
about?
Yeah. Listen, I know when I'm getting trolled. Let me
I
tell you
got a
something, brother.
question.
I know when I'm
Bro,
getting
wait,
trolled, and
hell
this is
no.
definitely one of
Let's
those
talk about this
examples
shit.
of getting
No,
trolled.
let's talk about this shit, bro, because
I want. I
this
actually
man
want to see.
saying,
So I would
hold
actually
on,
want to
this
see y'all
man,
deal with the scripture and the
this,
information, man.
this
Like
man
I be
saying,
seeing y'all
this
talk that
man
shit
saying
every
to
day,
throw
man.
your
The
ass
captain
up.
Okay,
here.
so
I
what
want to
y'all
see
want?
niggas
Okay,
perform.
okay, no problem. So I don't have no problem dealing with any information. Just tell me what information y'all want to deal with.
All right, so I want to deal with you know how Raiden, he the Thunder God, but he had it was an older nigga
Don't
in there
tell me
too.
this nigga got y'all. Y'all
It was an
scared
older, hold on. It was an older nigga. It was an older nigga in there, right? It
Y'all
was
ain't
an
got to
older
bust
nigga in
out
there.
some Kemet shit,
It
man. I'm
was a
trying to deal with
whole
some
on
information.
man, shut up. It was an older nigga in there. He had the similar powers. It was like Raiden Big Homie. So General Yohana, I
I'm
heard that
curious.
he was blessed by 7 other heads of the
Mm-hmm.
Israelites. Is this true?
Oh
Right.
Like, where did
shit,
General Yohana get his powers from?
When you say blessed by 7 other
oh
heads, like what do
shit.
you mean? I just want
I
to make sure
mean,
I answer your
who
question
was over?
properly.
Where did the general get anointed? Who anointed the general? Where did he? How did
I
he
Oh
become?
understand.
shit.
No problem. That's a good question. So
Thank
when we talk about the 7 heads and what commanded Jenny Hanna in the origin of the school, there were 7 men that started the school. Jenny Hanna was the next man under them, along with Tahar, that's now in GMS. They were like the first men that came into the school after them. So in our school, when you come, hold on one sec. When you come into the school, you take a test, and once you pass the test, you get anointed as a priest of the school, and then you get ranked. So you get ranked. You start as a officer, and then you work your way up. So Commander Jenny Hanna worked his way up to the rank that he had. So he had that rank in the 90s. So he hasn't had a rank raise since then. And so when we say that the 7 men and others left the school, Commander Jenny Hanna stayed in the school. So the reason why he's in charge is because he stayed at the school. So it fell to him. It's like if it's I believe it's like 7 men. I didn't know I was on the mic. I mean on camera. So if it's like 7 men right now on this app, and we establish something together, and then let's say 6 of us leave, the 7th man is in charge by default because the other 6 men left. So General Yohana became in charge not because he took power, wanted power, or anything like that. So I wouldn't say anointed in that sense, but I would say he was given that authority because everybody else left. I would say that.
Got you. So he anointed by elimination, and these 7 mystery men, they don't even fuck with y'all. That's wild.
When you
Thank you for
say
that,
mystery men,
bro.
like if you're gonna ask for historical points, I don't know why you would say 7 mystery men, because people know who these men are. Like I don't know who you are, but people know who those men were. Those men was, I
Okay,
know their
so
names: Ariyah,
I got you.
Yaquab, Mashah, Kazak, Shar, Laha. I know their names. So they weren't mystery men. They were men that established the school, and then one passed away, others left. So I don't know if I would say mystery men.
Mm. So y'all just throw their names, Shazak, Mashamar, and Yakar, and
The listening is
mm.
an art, because I didn't say that. I don't know what you mean when you say throw their names. I don't know what that means.
I said stole. Uh,
So when you say
no,
stole their names, I don't know what stole means. Stole it from where?
Oh shit. Hey, Shalom, y'all. Right there.
Hey, yeah, some shit like that. So when you start answering the questions, you see how stupid your questions are.
Well, my question is not stupid. You stupid.
You just said
So,
stole names. That don't even make sense. That's why you don't have no response.
so who anointed the 7? Who
So can we
anointed them?
roll some?
The set,
Let's
the
roll. Can we
7.
roll some info in?
Mhm.
Can we do what?
I just want to roll a little bit of information up in the mix out here.
Yeah,
I
listen,
really
I
want to actually
said, listen, you heard me say clearly, it didn't matter to me what questions I had. That
no,
brother came off
no doubt
mic and
about it.
asked
No
that
doubt about it.
question.
I'm respectfully, I'm not even really speaking to you. I'm just speaking to the brothers that I don't feel like these informational questions, like this kind of personal. I
Appreciate
really
it.
think that
Yeah, appreciate it, brother.
So
You
when we
seem pretty smart.
so let me see. Because I'm just trying to because I hear brothers speak about the Bible all day long. Da, 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 and we have a lot of back and forth debates. Da, 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 da,
Right.
Let me raise a few questions that I probably don't get answered. Okay, do you deal with the Nephilim,
With the who? The
with the
Nephilim?
thought of the giant in the Bible?
I deal with giants in the Bible, but not from a fallen angel perspective. I deal with it as far as giants is just talking about in power. It could be height, but it also could talk about in power. Like you could be a giant
Okay,
in power as well.
so the verse in Proverbs when it speaks, I forgot the exact proverb it was. I'm really not biblical. I'm into a lot of the African studies.
If you could
Um,
paraphrase it, I could probably help you find it.
we were like into them. We were like grasshoppers or something like that. The brother in box one
Oh, that's
actually
not. I
referenced
don't
it
know if that. I
quite
don't
often.
think that's Proverbs. That's. I think that's in the book of Numbers when Caleb and them was
I
describing
think that is
the
numbers.
them Hamites. They described them as being giants. That's why when it comes to Nephilim, so like if you go by the story of the flood, anybody that goes by the Bible, um, it says that the only people that survived the flood was Noah and his sons, which is 8 people. Noah, his sons, and their wives. So that's 8 people. So if the point of the flood was to destroy all flesh and all flesh was destroyed, the giants in numbers could not be fallen angels or Nephilim. They would just have to be men that grew tall. Like if we saw Shaq, if we saw Manute Bol, if you saw George Murison, if you saw Sean Bradley, they would be giants. So it's not like a man can't get to 7 feet tall, 8 feet tall. That exists to this day. So you have that type of giant. Then you have a giant like Nimrod. Nimrod was called a giant or mighty because of his power. Just like we say, this man is big in the game. He could be a midget. Napoleon, who was small, was a giant as far as his
Yeah,
generalship of
the men
commanding
of
his army.
renown. Okay,
Right.
so
Mhm.
and I'm not trying to get too caught up on this for too long, but the only reason I'm going to kind of disagree
Yeah,
with
I'm
the
just
shacks
following
and the
y'all.
things of
You
that
know, however
nature,
y'all flow with it, I'm rocking with you.
no
What's
doubt
up?
about it. Only reason I had to disagree with like the shacks and just maybe a larger man was because even then I'm not like a grasshopper to Shaq. I'm just like a short man. You get what I'm saying? I'm not this small puny being to anyone. Especially when you see like the Nephilim swords. I don't know if they've been carbon dated or not yet, and that they find over there in the Middle East. The
Goliath was a
Nephilim.
giant, though, right? Wasn't Goliath a giant? He wasn't a Nephilim. He wasn't a fallen angel. Well, and here's where people got to pick a side. I just need you to listen to what I'm saying. If you go by the biblical narrative, only 8 souls survived the flood. That means every other soul died. So even if someone takes the position of this so-called fallen angels, you would have to agree, according to the biblical narrative, they died in the flood. So when after the flood, these 8 people repopulated the planet Earth. So you can't make these men that became 7 foot tall, 8 foot tall, 9 foot tall be a part of the fallen angels because according to the
But
biblical
the Bible
narrative, they
says they
died.
was on this. The Bible says
So,
that they was on
okay,
this
so
side of the
that's
flood
so
and
I,
now.
I can I, I can accept
You would
that
have to
if,
show me
like you
what scripture
said,
you're talking about.
if you're purely using the biblical narrative. But I'm one of those brothers, and you don't have to subscribe, but I actually subscribe to a few other texts from primary sources, other lands and the peoples who actually do reference the Bible and the biblical characters and events such as the Labor Gabala Arim, where they speak of actually the Nephilim or certain giant beings actually did survive the flood, but that's a whole different story for another day because that'll open up the whole Council of Nicaea, what books were taken in and out, I mean, there's so much things I believe that are off the radar that are just not in our codexes that could really be vital information in tying this whole thing together. Now, my last question I want to ask you, brother, was dealing around the 12 tribe thing. And so we now, I believe, all have a common knowledge that the quote unquote Native American here on the land, and y'all refer to him as Gad, is that correct?
Yes.
We know now that the original Native American on this land was a nigga, dark skinned man, if you would. Would you agree with that? We have the Aztec, Inca, and
I would say
everything.
that I would say
But
that the 12 tribes of Israel would come in many different complexions. Like we're not hung up on, we don't care how light you are or how dark you are.
Right.
So even if the Native Indians were what you would call melanated and you might call them black, they still would be Gad to us.
Right. So I get that piece. And I'll not get too caught up on coloration either, because you had Incas and Mayans who were darker than me, and I'm a deeply melanated brother. But when for example, when I asked the local Hebrew Israelite, okay, who is Judah? He's going to tell me that this is the quote unquote black man in America. This is the nigga. This is the Negro. Da 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 da. Cool bean. Then I ask who is Gad. He tells me he's the Native American. But the Native American is also the Negro too. So my problem I'm having is that it seems that Judah and Gad are the same people when you get down on a historical level.
Well, we would be the same people because we're the same nation. Our differences is just tribal. So that's why that's why you notice I'm not arguing with the positions that you're making. But let's say if you call them Negro and we call them Gadites, they still would be the native Indians to this land. We would agree there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then
Correct.
we're just arguing what we would call them prior to being called native. We would call them the tribe of Gad. You're choosing to call them Negro. We're kind of just arguing from our, whether you want to call it spiritual or biblical lens. But we are not saying that we're not the same people. You're saying that they're our people. I'm saying they're our people. The only difference is I'm saying that for us, they're the tribe of Gad, different tribes, same nation. For you, you're saying that they were the Negroes before we got over here, before these Negroes got over here.
Mm-hmm. And these Judites, because the Judites are recognized as the quote unquote the slaves from the slave trade, right?
The Judite, well, it's a little more not complicated, a little different than that. So we teach that the transatlantic slave trade started from America to Spain first, and then from Africa to America. So when Columbus and them came over here, they started by taking Taino Indians to Spain first. Historically, I think they took 1,100 on a trial run, 300 survived, 800 died, and so they started doing that, and then they started taking us out of Africa into the Americas, primarily South America first, and then into North America. So transatlantic slave trade, we all experienced that. The Indians over here and the blacks that came out of Africa, we both experienced that.
Okay, I love that answer. That was great. That's actually an answer I have yet to hear from any Israelite on Big O, brother. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Hey, no problem, brother.
Come to bed. I'll be waiting for you.